I'm pretty excited.
All right, what is good, everybody? We are back on G'd Up University. We have a very, very special guest. I can't emphasize this. Very special.
Yes.
We have the China Lovelace from Always Relevant TV and TheShadeRoom.
What up, China?
Thank you.
Welcome.
Appreciate you coming out in the rain.
Oh my God.
It is.
We gonna make up for that.
And that rain is vicious today. I'm telling you, like it's been pouring all day.
Yeah, I'm just happy it's just been today. It hasn't been all week because we've been getting terrible weather, snow and rain and all type of stuff. So
and it's gonna stay wet for a little bit, so y'all stay
bundled up inside.
No need to go to the club tonight.
It is a Friday night though.
It is Friday,
night,
so y'all
still gotta do it.
Just no rooftops, I guess, right?
Wow.
Ain't no rooftops.
Yo. So I'm very honored to meet you, China. Like, tell us a little bit about like where you grew up. Like, are you an LA native?
I am not. I'm from the Bay Area.
See, there we go.
By way of Stockton. I gotta say Stockton because if I don't, people gonna be like, "Now you know you was out there on the south side of Stockton." Okay? But yes, my name is China Lovelace. Thank you for the wonderful introduction, Bernard. We go back to SAG. Okay.
Yes, 2019. So for all the roomies, that's what you call them, right? Roomies. All the roomies out there. I actually know China. I'm not like no fan or anything.
Sliding in the DMs.
Well, I mean, look, that's how you gonna communicate if you don't slide.
But you know what? I feel like when people know me in real life, text me. You got my number, but I don't mind if people slide in my DMs. But you know, me and Bernard have been friends for a long time.
Yeah, so. I could go either way.
I mean, you could.
Wow.
I got that look. I was like, nah.
Like I was about to say, either way. Okay, there we go.
We got the whole production team laughing.
Yo. There we go.
But yeah, I'm from the Bay Area by way of Stockton. I graduated from Virginia State University. Whoop whoop Trojans.
There we go. Not USC though.
The real Trojans. Okay.
There we go. Yeah.
During my time there, I focused on radio. So I was at WVST. That's Virginia State Station. After graduating from Virginia State, I commuted an hour and 15 minutes to Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina. It's like right over the state line.
Wow.
And so I worked at my first station, 99.5 Jams. Ended up moving to Charlotte, interned at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Couldn't find a job afterwards, was depressed. I worked at so many call centers. I was at Verizon, and I was telling my mom, I can't do this no more. I was in a dark space, and she was like, come home. Yeah. And I drove my car home. It's okay. So since I moved back to California in 2015, things have been so much better. I became a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority incorporated. I started my own platform, Always Relevant TV, because I was just like, I got my degree, but nobody is trying to hire me, okay? So I had to create my own opportunity.
So I have a question about that because you're starting from scratch. So how were you able to gather all the equipment, the personnel to get that started off?
Honestly, so when I moved to California in 2015, I worked like odd jobs. Like I was working like admin at law firms and stuff like that in the Bay Area. Hated it, but I still was like, let me see what other jobs are out there in media. It's so funny because I just started volunteering at a TV station called Our TV in Oakland, and the owner is actually my line sister's husband. So it's just so small how the world is. I wasn't an AK at that time. I didn't join until 2017, but it's just like how everything comes full circle. Yeah. So me, Aaron, my homegirl, like we were volunteering together, and we were kind of like, it's kind of slow here. We can kind of create our own opportunities. So I just made I didn't make a press release, but I wrote up a pitch email to attend the Amber Rose Slut Walk. So what I pretty much did was kind of finesse the situation. I was like, look, we gonna just say we were coming from Our TV, but we really gonna go out there and do our own thing. Yeah. And so that's how we created Always Relevant TV. She had her own equipment. And then another guy that had volunteered with us at the TV station, he was already living in LA because he moved. And we went out there and did the thing. And so Erin, she does all the behind the scenes stuff. And even though she's not physically here in California, she does stuff for sports. Yeah. I still wanted to do it because it's something I'm passionate about. Yeah. So I didn't buy my camera until 2018, 2019. I have a Canon M50, nothing super fancy. But I was just like, I want to still continue. This is what I have passion for. So, I mean, you only have a lot of money to start. Because when I went to the Slut Walk, I was really surprised to see people were actually interviewing people, celebrities, A-list celebrities on a cell phone. Yeah. I was like, well, I could have been coming out here doing stuff. Right, all I needed was a cell phone. So, yeah.
Well, big up. And, I'm going to give you your flowers. Like, first off, just starting an enterprise in itself is, that could be very daunting. So, Like let's walk through like that process. Like how did you like get the courage? Like was it just like a off the rim thing? Like I'm just gonna do it. Like like maybe speak to like how you got to that point where you're like, man, I can do this.
Yeah, I think that I always had the mentality like I got to bet on myself. Like my family is super supportive.
Yeah.
And when I was living in Charlotte, I had actually quit a full-time job at a call center because I done worked at 20 million of them.
Yeah.
And I took the internship at Charlotte Motor Speedway and it was unpaid. So I was not making any money. Like they would throw us a little bit of money if we worked like the NASCAR events, but my mom was just like, I want you to work in your industry because I paid all this money for your degree. And I'm like, yeah, you in student loans. I racked it up. Right. So I think like loans. I just knew that I'm just destined for greater. Like I did not like this admin assistant customer service. I could not care about them customers. Yeah. Why you can't pay your bill? That's a personal problem. Okay. Like I know that's rude, but like, you know how you work a job just to pay bills and you get tired of that cycle. So I was just like, okay, I just got to do something different. And I knew that, radio, once you're out of it, it's hard to get back in. So I worked at that station and I worked at a couple other stations after that, but it was just like street team stuff. Yeah. So I say all that to say, it's just like, when you're hungry, you have a passion for something, a drive, like, you just got to go after it. And like I said, it wasn't hard. I sent a pitch. We had never been to any other events before. And then I did that event. And then we did a Cocktails with Claire event in the Bay Area. So, I mean, as long as you can write a pitch and say why they should want you to interview them, they'll let you do it.
Awesome. Like, man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Big up.
So what I'm picking up here is networking is very big. So let me ask you about the networking piece that you might get from being a member of as an AKA.
It's really, really huge. That was like one of the reasons. Sisterhood first, and then the networking is why I wanted to become an AK. And like my journey to become an AK was hard. HBCUs, 500 girls want to be AKs and Deltas. Obviously, I didn't make it at Virginia State, but I'm like, this is a lifetime commitment. Yeah. So if this is something that really was in my heart, I was just like, just continue at it. So honestly, without one of my sorors as an AKA, I wouldn't have my job today. So I like to follow other girls that's in the industry, the other media girls. And my soror, Rosalind, she was previously, she had worked at Hollywood Unlocked, and then she went to another platform. I'm not going to say the name. But she said they were hiring. I was like, oh, let me, shoot my shot. And I've always had experience like social media writing, but I wouldn't say like I wanted to be a writer or a journalist. Like I was good at it, but I feel like she really gave me a chance because when I sent over my writing samples, I was working at a solar nonprofit at the time when I lived in Sacramento. That's how I met Bernard. And I sent over those writing samples, and I had sent over some old writing samples from NASCAR from like 2014. Yeah. So she gave me a chance to work at that blog. And then from there, she ended up leaving. And then I got promoted, and I stayed there, and I was like, I don't like this anymore. And then I seen the ShadeRoom was hiring. Yeah. And because of the experience that I had, there's a quote-unquote competitor, they was like, okay, China, come on over here.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah. So networking is everything.
So before, I do want to talk about the ShadeRoom. Okay. Like, we do need to talk about this ShadeRoom.
Yes.
But who were your inspirations, like, that got you into media? Like, what did you see that, like, inspired you and kept you going?
It's kind of hard to say like back then when I first was like, okay, I want to, because I wanted to go to Virginia State because of BEC College Hill. Yeah. Like I knew about HBCUs, but I only knew about like the Clarks, the FAMUs, like small of them. But I'm like, ooh, Virginia State is lit. Yeah. So I'm going there. But I always kind of had the dream to like work in media. Like I was like, I want to work for BET, which is still a dream of mine. I think like someone that inspires me, definitely Wendy Williams, because I feel like she has her own approach. Like, her legacy that comes behind it. Yeah. She, is just bomb. And it's just like, I'm sad to see where she's at today. Someone else that inspired me, I went to college with her, and she's also AK, Dominique the Diva. So I seen her at Virginia State, and just her transition from local stations in Richmond to now being syndicated in DC. She's someone that inspires me. It's a lot of women. I can't really think of everybody, but like those are some of the people. Like I remember when I was still like kind of postgraduate, I had reached out to Dominique the Diva, like, girl, I need an internship. Like, can you mentor me? And she was like, I don't have the time, but like keep at it. Yeah. And I remember that we don't have a personal relationship, but it's just like AKA.
Yeah. And I mean, support is support. Mm-hmm. But you took me back a little bit. You said College Hill. Mm-hmm. I was thinking Team Summit. But like that's how old I am. Don't be dating me.
But, no, it's cool. If you know, you know.
Yeah. Like, let's roll it.
I guess the next question is because typically the journey through college isn't always linear. You know, you might get one major, you might end up somewhere else.
Yeah.
So my question is, or questions, what was your major coming into Virginia State, and how would you say the HBCU experience was? Because a lot of friends that I've had that have gone to HBCUs, they tend to also say that it's a culture shock.
I mean, like I said, with BET College Hill, I was like, I want to work in media. I think I was very fortunate to know what kind of career I wanted going into college, because a lot of times people don't know. So I was mass comm the whole way through, you know, liberal arts. Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
But I think like what was pivotal in my college career was my sophomore year. Like fall semester, I'd be doing real bad. Spring semester, I'd be popping. But it's crazy because spring semester, everything is going on. All the parties, the yard is popping. So we did a tour of the Virginia State's radio station, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm messing up. I could be like, because it was a point that I almost wasn't going to come back to school because I was on like academic probation. And like, you know, when you're out of state student, it's expensive. I was getting like a loan every year. The Parent Plus loan, I don't know if it's still around, but if you get denied, you even still get like $4,000. So I was always getting them.
Yeah.
I owe a lot of money in student debt, if y'all can't tell.
It's all good. We gonna cover that.
Right. It's above me now. I'm not never paying them loans back. And you can tell Money Back Joe I said it.
Yeah, there
I did a tour at the radio station. I'm like, dang, like you messing up, and like this is what you really want to do. And I think like it's always a lot of mass comm majors, but who is really doing stuff? Yeah. So from that tour, Miss Williamson, she's over the radio station, and she's like in the mass comm department. I don't know what exact her title is, but she's really influential there, and she's someone I still keep in contact today. But I told her like I want to work at the radio station, so she told me I needed to stay over like the winter break. She was like, stay over the winter break, come in here, and you're gonna learn how to run the boards, like run the boards, and learn how to do the studio. Like they had us doing like a test tape of like your actual radio shift. So it was a lot, but it was just like I really wanted it. Yeah. And luckily I have family in Virginia, so I just stayed at their house during that time. But that was really pivotal because when I graduated from college, I still was volunteering. Like I never got paid, but I had my job at Capital One. I told you I worked at the call centers. Yeah. And then from that experience at Virginia State Station, I was able to get that job in North Carolina.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, I'm so long-winded. I'm excited.
No, it's all good.
We're excited to have you.
Yes. Yeah. And I think the second part of the question, you were just saying, how was my HBC experience?
Yes.
It was very much a culture shock because, you know, in California, we got everybody, blacks, whites, Filipinos, all the different Asians, Hmongs, Laos.
Shout out to Filipinos.
Yeah, you know, we got just Mexicans, you know, we got everybody. And when I went to Virginia State, I'm like, it's a lot of black people here, but it's different type of black. West Indians, Caribbeans, Africans, Dominicans, everybody was there. So I remember like we have the yard, which is basically outside, okay? Yeah. And we were behind Foster. It was like one of the social halls, and they was playing go-go. And I'm like, what is this? I ain't never heard of this. What's Baltimore club music? So it's just all of these different people and places that I would have never even been to. Like I was a part of the Virginia State University Gospel Chorale, world renowned. And every spring break we did a tour. I mean, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida. I had never been to a lot of those places. Detroit, we went to Detroit School of the Arts, Elias High School, the Motown Theater. So I went so many places. I got to minister and worship and try to get people to come to Virginia State. So 10 out of 10. If you guys did not go to HBCU, I feel bad for you. But go visit somebody homecoming because you really will have the best time of your life. Some of my same friends from freshman year are my best friends, and you just meet so many connections. And you never know where those people are going to be at today because I'm like, girl, can you help me get into this event? So, yeah. It's lit.
Well, I would have made it to Howard Law, but they rejected me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. You know, I tried the HBCU experience, but, you know, UCLA picked me up. So.
Right. And sometimes, you know what, I will never tell anybody to, if you got a school that's giving you more, it's just more beneficial. You don't have to go into student loan debt. Go to that school. But if you can go to HBCU, go there because, like, when I go to like fairs and talk to high schoolers and stuff like that, like California will always be here. This will always be home. Yeah. But how many times do you really get to go somewhere outside of your comfort zone and you grow as a human and you just learn these life lessons and you don't have your mom and dad here. You know, you're really an adult, you know?
Yeah, and so that's big because I think, you know, part of the podcast for us is like in getting kids to kind of become desensitized to the ideal of like what college looks like, that whole process. And maybe you can kind of speak to like like what that shock was like. How did you like cope with it, and you know, maybe give some like suggestions to people that might be going through that or is gonna go through that.
Like coping, like being away from your family,
being away, and then you're hitting like
self-care,
and then the culture shock of the HBCU, and
I think you have to be really open-minded because growing up in Stockton, like on the South Side, there's not much going on. You know, the statistics and the odds are stacked against you. Like a lot of my friends were pregnant in high school. So for me to come from a single parent, a father that's been incarcerated my whole life, I'm not supposed to have went to college and graduated. Right. So I set the foundation for my three other siblings. Like my sister, she's at Howard now. She's getting her PhD. I have another sister. Yes, shout out to my little sister. So proud of her. Me. Oh my God.
I'm still bitter about that.
I mean, you taking away from.
Shout out to your sister.
Shout out to.
Let's go.
I have a sister that's 16. She wants to go to Clark, and then my brother, he went to Clark for a little bit, but he learned it wasn't for him. So I'm setting the foundation, but I think I just was open-minded. Like I was excited to be there. You know, that first week I was real homesick. I was calling my mom crying. I didn't say I wanted to go back now, but I was like, I miss you. And friends would check up on me. But shoot, freshman week when you meet everybody, meet people in your dorm, you find your friends to go to the caf, you're going to be fine. So just be open-minded. You know, I say like really college is the time you can reinvent yourself and be anybody you want to be. You could have been nerdy in high school, lame. Come to college. I'm not saying put on, but you know, just step out of your comfort zone and be the person that you really want to be and shine. So I just say, you know, just be you. And you can always fake it till you make it, but don't be fake.
Yeah, don't be fake. I mean, thanks for sharing that experience.
Yes, appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think the other thing we want to know is you know, you came from Stockton, you've worked in entertainment, and of course, you're in Los Angeles, you're in the entertainment capital of the world. So how would you say was your transition in terms of not just professionally, but personally living out here? How would you say that transition was?
Good question.
I think, like, honestly, I feel like a lot of people be like, oh, you come to LA, you're going to meet so many fake people. You got to watch out for fake people. But I feel like I was very fortunate to already have a village and a support system before I came out here. Yeah. I moved in the middle of the pandemic, but I call it the bandemic because I was running that EDD up. Hey. And I ain't going for it. But, you know, I was able to like really just discipline myself and save money. And I was coming down here. I'm always with my different AK sorors and the Alphas. So I came down here and I was like, you know what, I'm going to move. And I told my mom, and she was like, I didn't think she was believing me. Yeah. So I had told one of my frat brothers, like, hey, Simon, I want to come stay with you for a few days to come look at apartments. As soon as I got to my apartment complex, I knew I wanted to move in. But you know how you got to do your due diligence and stuff like that. Yeah. But I mean, I have friends from college. I have friends from Stockton, of course, Bernard from SAC. And I just meet people, and it's like, you know, you may not, every person that you come in contact may not be like your tight, close-knit friend. They could be associates, but it's like, you know, build the relationships. And my thing is like, make them be mutually beneficial. Yeah. Because you're not going to just be hanging around me because you're like, oh, trying to work at the Shade Room, she can post me. I cannot post everything. Yeah. I can, but if your stuff is whack, why would I post it? 20 million plus people can laugh at you in a bad way. I wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah, well, thank you for looking out for me because, like, I'm the one worried about it right now. Like, like what I look like.
Don't be worried. Like. You look good.
Like, I'm just saying what I look like. Thanks.
I guess in terms of friends, some of our mutual friends include Reese, Sharisha, and Gina.
Yes,
so
those
now
are my circle.
You're here. How do you continue to keep in touch with them? Because I do see you be doing some trips and whatnot. So for people pursuing the similar career, how would you say you're able to balance your close friendships that aren't with you physically all the time?
I'm getting emotional because, like, I feel like you meet different people throughout different chapters of your life. And with Gina, Reese, and Charisha, like, they're like, I got my fingers crossed because they're so close to me, so close to my heart. And it's like, those are the friends that I pray with when times are good, when times are bad. If I got an idea, like we have meetings of the minds, like if we want to do stuff, it's just like a different type of friendship and support and love. Like I'm a friend that, like, I go to the end of the earth for my friends. I love them down. Like, I tell my friends I love you because, like, you need to take that time to, like, really let people know how you feel. But outside of them, like, I have my best friends. A lot of my friends that are, like, really close, they live out of states. But my sorors, they're here. So, like, if I need to call somebody, if I need something, like, I have people here too. But to me, like, distance with friendship doesn't mean anything. I'm one phone call away. Like, if I want to come home and be like, girl, Gina, I need to come. I'm just having a week. She gonna be like, girl, come on. I got the key to her house. Like, well, not the key, but the code to her door. So I can just, let myself in. Yeah. So it's all about like having a good close knit circle of friends. Like I tell them something, there's no judgment. They believe in me. They're like, China, you need to go hard with this. I think you should do that. They're speaking my names in rooms. Like Gina's the one how I found out about the job in ShadeRoom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was like on Facebook and was like some Facebook group, and the people was like, y'all gossiping in here for free. The ShadeRoom is hiring. Oh. And it was crazy because like she had came, like that circle of friends had came to me twice and was like, China, the ShadeRoom is hiring. And the first time I was like, I'm okay where I'm at. The second time I was like, girl, I'm applied for this job, okay? So yeah.
So let's transition into the shade room. Like let's talk about that. Like
here we go.
Like, let's put it on the mic. Let's go.
I love working at the Shade Room. I think it's like a great company. Like of course, like we have our Christian values. It's Black women owned. I work with nothing but women on the social team. I feel like since working there, it's gonna be my 3rd year this year.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
Big up.
I've grown as a writer. I feel like compared to the last outlet I worked at, like this outlet, the structure and just like the time to make sure that you are, is this true? What's the source? Like, and I think that's the thing that, you know, we are journalists there, and you know, people be like, oh, y'all blog. We're not just a blog. We're a media platform. Right. You know, we're like the #1. Okay,
make it known.
The stats don't lie. But from my coworkers, and like one of my coworkers is my friend LaJanae. You know, she's the co-host. We're both the co-hosts of the ShadeRoom Live Radio Show. I've learned so much from her, just about like worth ethic. I can't talk, just how to be a better writer and journalist and things like that. And I just feel like I'm in the right circle with the right people to work with and at the right company.
Perfect. Let's talk about journalism. You know, like journalism has like ethics and like, you know, people like Shade Room, that's gospel, like they're gossiping, they don't like, you know, but like maybe you could speak to like how, you know, it's actually journalism. You actually have a source.
There's a method to it.
Yeah. I mean, if there's so there's 2 different things. Like as you touched on the celebrity gossip. Okay, if the celebrity put this out there, we can't go into their Instagram and be like, oh, Chris Brown said this. Chris Brown actually has to say this or do this, and that's how like you can see the gossip. But you know, for example, like when people die. Unfortunately, people die, right? But the roommates don't be caring for everybody. But when somebody dies, like they like, oh, Shade Room, this happened, this rumor going around. We not gonna rest until y'all post it, because people be like, it ain't real unless the Shade Room post it. Yeah. So we gotta do our due diligence with certain stuff. Like if it's not like from a major news outlet, like a CNN or AP News, or you know, TMZ is a credible source. It used to not be a credible source.
Right.
When I was in college, TMZ was not a credible source until I think Michael. It wasn't that, but when Michael Jackson passed, that's when they became credible. Yep. So like sometimes like you just have to take the extra mile with stuff. I know like unfortunately when Young Dolph passed away, we were flooded. Like the roommates just were flooding our DMs. It was all over social media. But we can't just put out there Young Dolph was shot. We don't have any facts to cover and make sure that is factual news. But my coworker LaJanae, you know, she has more of like a news strategist kind of background, and like she likes the investigative journalist. So she would tell us like, okay, what we can do is we can call down to the police department and figure out if it was a shooting on these streets. And so we could verify that information. So I think that's the difference between a credible outlet and one that's not. They'll just say, reportedly, this person died, this person got shot, this person this. We're not going to post this if we cannot verify it. Yeah. And that's what a real journalist is. Even like with the Tory Lanez trial, there were so many things that came out, like clickbaity things and just stuff that's not factual. We can follow the actual reporters that are in there. That's how we're getting the information to disseminate it out. But they were at the, they were like still in recess or something like that for the verdict. The verdict hadn't even been out yet. Somebody posted something on social media, some fake little verdict flyer, and these other outlets are posting it. But the Shade Room didn't post it because they were still in deliberations.
On the record.
Yeah, so it's just like, it's common sense. And it's just like, you have to take the extra mile. Like, if you want to protect your brand and make sure that y'all are being treated like the journalists that y'all are, you have to go the extra mile and report factual news.
Yeah, well, I mean, big up to you. I mean, for our culture, our generation, our, you know, like our backgrounds, like that's important.
Yeah.
You know, like having that like outlet and being able to trust it, you know, so big up to you and the other
Thank you.
journalists,
Pat
beautiful
myself on
women
that.
out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I know you posted this not too long ago, and you have a method to it. So let's talk about DMs, especially when you're talking about
Slide up in the DM.
slide up in the DMs.
They open. I'm single.
Wow.
Hey, well, there
Here we
you go,
go.
fellas. And she gonna respond if she wants to.
We got someone over there behind the camera.
Oh Lord.
Who's? I ain't gonna say. it,
Awkward moment. Let's go.
But the question is, you did post it, and so given that
What was it? What was it that I posted? Because I be posting a lot of stuff.
gotta
about
give some
how
context.
like if you ain't interested in it, you ain't gonna respond to it.
Oh, you're talking about DMs where people be okay. I got a whole disclaimer. It's in my highlights. It say read me. So I have a disclaimer about people sliding into my DMs. I thought you were talking about somebody was trying to holler at me. I don't got no disclaimer for that.
Oh my bad, I
This
didn't
is
mean.
for,
I didn't. Look, I'm sorry.
It's okay. 'Cause I,
Eventually, we're gonna have that conversation, and somebody gonna be on the other side of what I'm talking about.
yes. So the reason why I have a disclaimer, and it's like my TED talk. I got a whole couple bullet points, and it's just like people are so rude. They don't say hello, how you doing? They don't greet you. They just send you stuff.
Hi, how are
Wait,
you?
right.
Good
Like,
morning. You know.
like inappropriate pictures.
It don't even
Type
be
of-
it don't be inappropriate stuff, but it be just stupid stuff. Like, why are you sending this to me? And you're not. And I know that people are sending this to me in hopes of me seeing it for the Shade Room. I don't care about this, and especially if I'm not at work. Like, I'm off the clock. I'm definitely not responding. I've gotten a lot better with not responding, but like, I'm just like, why y'all can't say hello?
Yeah.
Hey, China, I know you work for the Shade Room, but my little brother, he raps. Can you check this out? That type of message, I'm still gonna decline. But at least you said hello.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes people will send me tips, like it'd be tea. If I'm not at work, I'm declining, or I may respond and say, hey, just send this to the Shade Room. I'm not at work, and they will be respectful. But a lot of the times, people just be like blowing me up. I'm like, yeah, I work at the Shade Room, but I'm not at work 24/7. Like, somebody, like, I think the reason why I made that disclaimer because somebody tried to video chat me, and it just really pissed me off. I'm just like, why are you even video chatting me? I don't even know you.
Like, where was this during work hours? Or is it
I think it was during work hours, but
okay.
still, like,
Yeah.
come on now. I don't even know you, and you trying to get on the Shade Room.
right? So for you all out there trying, don't be just randomly video chatting some.
Yes,
some
please
people.
do not,
Well,
because that is not cool.
Going back
Yeah.
to posting stories, because it is a key thing that you do that you tend to do on the clock. And, you know, aside from the DMs, you don't do that, right? But in terms of posting, like, how do you determine what is relevant or important enough to
Yeah.
post that is Shade Room worthy?
Yeah, it's a lot of different things. Like, I know what the roommate likes. Like, the roommates like funny, nostalgic. They like the hard news. They do like when we share the politics. They like the gossip. So I just feel like I know the audience. I've been there for almost 3 years, so I know what the roommates like. So it's kind of easy for me to identify. And then if it's a good key indicator if I think it's funny on my own personal page, or if it's entertaining. Like, for instance, today I posted a TSR I can relate, and it was just like, which friend are you when it comes to how you pronounce your words? So it was a couple, and they had a proper versus country accent challenge. And the girl was from California, and her dude was from Texas, and she was like iron. He like earn.
Oh,
So like it was something that I liked, and it was doing good on TikTok. It was doing good on Twitter. So I'm like, okay, y'all like it on these other platforms. Y'all gonna like it on the Shade Room.
Let's transition because you said politics and TikTok. So like,
Yes.
Go
I'm
ahead.
curious. Like, so what is your thought on TikTok and like the whole, like, you know, government wants to ban it, China's
Yeah.
spying on people. You have a position on
Which
that?
China is spying on
No,
people?
not me.
Not
Not
this
me.
Okay,
China.
okay.
I
We
mean,
want to
like,
make sure.
yeah.
No, yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I haven't really been keeping up with that because I know, like, when Donald Trump was in office, he wanted to ban TikTok. They always trying to ban TikTok. Leave TikTok alone.
Yeah, leave TikTok
Just make
alone.
sure that y'all have some type of policy in place for, like, the minors, because all of them challenges and them Kia boys, I don't like that type of stuff. But I like TikTok. Like, I be on there watching hair videos. I might try to do the little majorette challenge and learn a dance move. I like to stay on top of trends.
Ooh.
So I'm
You gonna
very
be
trendy.
part of that
So,
majorette?
yeah, I mean,
TikTok?
y'all know me, I'm not a social media guy. They hit me up all the time, like, when you gonna get your page?
No,
When you
no
gonna get your
IG,
page?
Elliot.
Oh, you don't have no IG? Oh,
No
you real.
IG,
You gotta
no-
watch out for men like you.
Yeah. Oh shit. Well, I'm not sliding into my ID. I'm like,
Okay.
that's what I'm trying to avoid.
What you
Stay out of
sliding in
trouble.
then? Nah, I'm just.
Okay,
Wow.
okay.
Like, oh, so inappropriate. We're in a professional setting, sir. What the hell is wrong with you?
But yeah, I like TikTok. I'm on every social media platform except for, like, Snapchat.
Yeah, Snapchat bad.
That's old. I had kept it just for, like, the filter, but I'm like, girl, I don't need this.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I like TikTok. Ain't nothing wrong with me, like with it. And people are getting a bag. Like I think that's the great part of social media. Like you getting paid for posting a video that you would have gonna post anyway. Like I was a part of that, like with the Instagram Reels. And I don't get paid as much as I used to, but the fact that I can get paid for a reel that I was gonna post, I love that. So shout out to all the people getting a bag on social media.
So I mean that is a good thing, because I believe we had a conversation about this before with someone, and like the importance of like understanding like how you can get paid for the stuff that you're posting. So can you kind of speak to that, just for those that are like, you know, they want
to get that bag.
I mean, I'm trying to really. Like, I mean, not that I'm trying to figure out, because like I have worked with some brands, but I want to be like with the big brands. Like my dream collaboration is Pretty Little Thing. Pretty Little Thing, if y'all hear this, holla at me. But like,
get back at China, y'all.
Back at China, Lovelace.
But yeah, like,
let's get this done.
I'm like, I have a brand deal. I wouldn't say it's a deal, but like Z-Lul, that's where I get my glasses from, so people can use my codes. So I have like those type of like where you make the money, like the percentage. But I want like the big deals. People be making a lot of money on social media, so that's what I'm trying to get to. But I mean, even before, like I was at the Shade Room, and I probably had like, when I started working at the Shade Room, I had like almost 5,000 followers. Now I got like 61,000.
And I've seen it grow. I think it was like 800 when I met you, and now it's like 64. Wow.
Yeah, but I mean, it really don't take anything for someone to want to reach out to you and like send you a product for you to promote. I think when I first started, like I got stuff for free. And if I would say if someone is grandfathered in, like there's one company I work for and I just promote it, it's free, but it's stuff I like anyway, I ain't tripping. But now I'm at the point where like, nah, I've done a lot of stuff. I've worked with other brands. I need for y'all to run me my coin.
Yeah, so I mean that's a good point too. Like for people that are younger, that are journalists, that like they look up to you, they're gonna follow your footsteps. What advice would you give them when it comes to like when you get a deal, like social media posts, like what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, what you should or shouldn't do?
Yeah. Honestly, like what's appropriate kind of depends on. I want to say it kind of depends on that person for their personal brand.
Yeah.
You have to always think about your personal brand. Like my personal brand is like, you know, media girl. I like to travel. I like to cook. I show my fitness journey. And I be outside. I might show you my fashions and stuff like that, my hair, you know. But I'm not. Oh yeah, I got my little dunks.
You got that on the show.
But I'm not. You're not gonna see me posting something like too sexually explicit.
Right.
I ain't gonna be toting no gun. I'm not gonna. If I smoke some weed or whatever, that's gonna be my close friends. But I'm not gonna put that in forward facing stuff, because I have my own personal brand, and then I'm an AKA too.
Yeah.
So I would just make sure, like, remember whatever you put on the internet, it doesn't go away. The internet never forgets. Like, never. Like, they will just remember forever. So
they
just make
will
something.
Find you.
Just
and
make
your
sure.
old post.
Yeah, just make sure. See,
that's why I ain't got no social media.
But just make sure it aligns to your brand and what you want it to convey. And then, I mean, I feel like some people used to do like a business page and then their professional page. I don't even think that's necessary anymore. People like mixing and matching stuff. So I think, you know, just do you, but make it appropriate.
Yeah.
I guess as a follow-up question is, in addition to knowing what to post, if you're planning to aspire to do that, how about those young women out there and just people in general that want to pursue your career? Because you said that there were times that you were in a dark place. So what advice would you say for them who want to pursue this obviously very busy, very stressful, but very rewarding job?
Start now. You don't, like I said, you don't need a big platform to go out there to cover events. Like my YouTube channel, I don't even have 900 followers on my YouTube. And then on my Instagram this is all for AlwaysRelevantTV. I don't even have 1,000 followers, but I do good interviews. And all you have to do is pitch. You're going to hear a lot of no's, but then when you do get that yes and you get that content and they say, this China out here at this event, this is a good interview. We need to come to our event. So, like, don't let nobody tell you what you can't do. Like, always bet on yourself. As long as you got the faith and the determination, and you know that you can get there. Like, I know, like, when I came to a lot of the events, like, for Always Relevant TV, I have never got paid for any of the events that I went to. So I kind of do it for the exposure and for the love of what I want to do, like, more career-wise. So the money will come. Like, I'm not out here without a full-time job. This is just, like, something on the side to, you know, open more doors and gain more exposure. But, I mean, I didn't have a problem driving to L.A. Me and Aaron came down here. We got an Airbnb. We gave our friend that helped us with the camera a few dollars because we had our own jobs. But when you have a passion for something, like, the money will come. Now, I ain't saying going broke. Don't be out here scamming or nothing like that. But do what you can with the equipment you have, especially like in college. Like I remember like I started a YouTube channel. And I think I must have got locked out, or I didn't really keep into it. And back in 2012, like there were YouTubers, but it wasn't like a career. Yeah. So I'm like, if I would have stayed true to YouTube and just documented my journey from 2012 to 2023, I would have probably been one of them top Black influencers. But, I don't know why I didn't do it. And my mom was like, you should have been on YouTube. You should have been doing this and that. My mom was always pushing me to aspire for more, as I do for myself. But yeah, just start now. If you're in college, for college students listening to this, please do an internship. Yeah. I think I hate, I'm going to say hate because it's a strong word. I strongly dislike when I hear a college student, they about to graduate and they didn't do no internships. And it makes absolutely no sense to me. You should definitely be doing an internship. And if you can do one post-graduation, do one. But, definitely take take jobs that are your worth, but take the experience that's going to help you get to the next level.
So let's talk about internships because, I know that's important for you and your dissertation. But, paid versus unpaid, what is worth it? And then maybe even speak to, the whole journey of, finding, okay, this is what I want to do. So this is, this is the major I'm going to take, and things of that nature. Maybe giving some advice on that.
I think it's kind of hard to give advice on someone to take a major because I know some cultures, your parents say, I'm only paying if you're a doctor, a lawyer, something like that. My mom never really told me you gotta be in this type of industry. I told her I want to work for BET and I want to do mass comm. And we just was like, okay, so do this. And then when I got to Virginia State, I was doing radio and TV. And I was like, I want to do more radio stuff. I mean, I still took the TV classes because it was under my curriculum. Yeah. But when it came down for me to okay, I really want to work in radio and do internships, my internships was in radio. So it was kind of unique how I did my internship. This is one thing I didn't like about my college experience. I really wanted to intern at 106 KML in San Francisco.
Hey, Chewy Gomez, shout out.
Wait. I'm gonna date myself. I was waiting for 106 in Park.
No. Well, this is a radio station.
This is Bay Area.
Yeah, this is the top radio station in San Francisco. So I was trying to even work at one of the radio stations in Sacramento, but he was not trying to follow up with me. So anyway, I got an internship interview at KML. Super excited. I mean, I never have even been to that part of San Francisco because growing up, my mom didn't like crossing the bridge. So the furthest I went out was Embarcadero to Pier 39. So my great aunt came with me out there. She helped me get to the studio, and I pretty much had that internship. But I was not taking the classes for college courses, and they wouldn't offer that to you at Virginia State till you were a junior or either a senior, right before you were graduating. So I didn't get the internship. And if I was thinking, I probably was I should have just enrolled in a community college to get the internship so I can have that experience. But so that didn't work out, but I did intern at Radio 1 in Richmond. So Radio 1 is owned by, TV One. That's the TV
Richmond
portion.
in Virginia or
Richmond
Cali?
in Virginia. No,
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's Radio One. It's more East Coast down south. They don't have it here on the West Coast. But when I did my internship, I was already a step above because, like I told y'all, I had already been volunteering at Virginia State Station, so I already knew how to run the board. I already had my own spot on Sundays. So what I really learned at the internship was the promotion side. Yeah. I learned a little bit about the ad side. We had a gospel station there. I did some drops for them, so I just learned a little bit more than what I did at Virginia State. But again, without any of that, without any of that knowledge, I would have never had the job. And then even at Charlotte Motor Speedway, again, that was unpaid. They did pay us for a few jobs. And when I tell y'all that was the brokest I had ever been, I was on food stamps. I had worked at the Gap. I was making $8.25. I loved being on food stamps.
There we go.
I'm using the government to assist it, okay? Because I was broke. I mean, I didn't have no money. At that time, my mom was paying my rent. I was living off 401k because I had worked at Capital One. But when I told her I was going to quit my job, she was like, go ahead. I got you for your rent. My ex-boyfriend was paying my cable. My internet was free because I had hooked up to the Wi-Fi for the building.
City girls up.
City girls up.
That's a good ex right there.
But
y'all better take note.
All right. He was trying to help a little bit, okay? He wasn't the richest, but he did help me a little bit with that. But at that internship at the postgraduate one at Charlotte Motor Speedway, I mean, I didn't know nothing about social media professionally. I learned how to put the period and then the @ so you can reach all of the followers. It was just so many things I learned how to write a press release. I got to write stories for the Charlotte Motor Speedway website, just seeing different stuff, being at a press conference. So internships are very valuable.
Yeah, well, thank you for trailblazing for
yes.
our future, man. We definitely Appreciate it. So I definitely want to transition into like, you know, let's get into the gossip, right?
The gossip.
Who was your favorite person and your least favorite person to interview, if you don't mind going into it?
Okay, so I'll do two parts.
You stressing her out,
right? Deep breath coming up.
I have to think because I've interviewed a lot of people. Okay, so I am one of the hosts for the ShadeRoom Live Radio on AMP. And so my favorite interview that we did on that platform was with Jada Chiviz. Now, I love Jada Chiviz. Like, I like to follow the influencers girlies too. And Jada's just like, she seems like a real sweet person. Like, she's about her bag. She seemed really fun. Like, I feel like me and her would get along. So I really liked interviewing her. But then on the flip side, I really liked interviewing Saucy Santana, because I just been following him from like Walking Like a Dog to like Material Girl. Like, and he was real cool.
What, say it again?
Material Girl. And he was super transparent, and he's trailblazing in the LGBTQIA community. So those two are really good. For my own platform, Always Relevant TV. Oh, who's some of the favorite people that I interviewed?
You have some big names on your own platform.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
I interviewed Too Short before. That footage never came out.
What's
that was
my favorite word?
Biatch.
There we go. I couldn't say it. Yo,
you didn't say it.
I interviewed him, a whole bunch of people from Love and Hip Hop. Dang, who's
you just said a bunch of people.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, this was Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, like Lyrica Anderson.
Ray J?
No, not Ray J. A1 Bentley. Well, he's changed his name to Spring Break. I'm just trying to think. Like, it's been so many people. Favorite interview? I think most recently I went to the Baddies West premiere in North Hollywood, and so I got to interview like Natalie Nunn, Krishan, some other cast members. Yeah. It was Natalie Nunn for me.
Yeah.
Natalie Nunn was just hella cool, and I was trying to get her attention because that carpet was super packed. Like, we was like in there like sardines, so everybody was trying to get a spot. It was so small. And I was like, Bay Area, like I had to get her to like know, like, girl, come over here.
We family.
And so she did it too, and she was like that. And so I was like, because I like the show. It's ratch, very ratch. But I like it. And I was like, I thought we was going to see more girls from Cali. What's up? And she was just like, hey, they wasn't bringing it. So I had to make a decision. So she was super cool. I did interview Krishan. It wasn't a bad interview. Like, the internet ate it up. Like, those are some of my highest viewed interviews on YouTube. But I think Natalie was like one of my favorites. One of my least favorites, I don't know. I don't really feel like I've ever had any bad interviews. Oh, okay. So okay. Now I'm thinking about it. Okay, so at the Slut Walk, and it's like, this is all about preparation. So, do you guys know that show Little Women, LA? Yeah. Okay, so I think her name was, I don't know what her name is. Well, they're all little, because I was gonna say the little one, but they're all little.
That's the name of the show.
She is white, and I think she had just had a baby.
Okay.
And she was like a backup dancer for like maybe Katy Perry or something like that. I can't think of her name, but I didn't know she had just had a baby, and I asked her if she was pregnant. Oh. And she was looking at me like, girl, and it was super awkward. So that was probably like one of my worst interviews, because it's like, I wasn't really prepared like I thought I was. I mean, because I knew who she was, but I wasn't following her to a T. Yeah. So I think like, you got to make sure that you're prepared. Like, even if you don't know who the person is, like, just take out your Instagram and just scroll and look and see real quick. Because that's happened to me. Like, I came down for the BET experience. This maybe was like 2018, 2019. No, 2018, because when the pandemic started, 2019? Yeah. So, yeah, it was like 2018. And so I just walking around the convention center, and people see me with a camera, was like, hey, you want to interview Money Man? I didn't know who Money Man was, but I was like, yeah, I'm gonna interview him. And I just went on his Instagram real quick. I'm like, okay. he got an album that just dropped. He do cryptocurrency. And so I was just like, I would just be like, hey, how you doing? How you feel about being here? Like, what you looking forward to? I was like, okay, you a part of that crypto gang? And he was explaining it to me. I'm like, so how you get into it? So it's like, okay, I just took them little bit of minutes and just looked at this man, because I was like, I don't know nothing about this man. Sorry to this man, but I've seen him since then and like kind of got more familiar with him. So it's just always like, be prepared, like be over prepared. Oh my gosh, can I do one more?
Sure. Yeah.
Because I'm like,
we go all the time.
Like I'm just jogging my memory and stuff. Okay, Mozzie was there too.
Hey, Sacktown.
Yes. And so like, you know, when you from like a certain area, like a celebrity is from, like you gotta hype that up. Yes. Like I'm like, oh yeah, I'm from the Bay, because I rep the Bay and Stockton, but I was like, yeah, I live in Sac. I did live in Sac, so I'm gonna say I live in Sac. So what's up?
I could vouch for that as a Sacramento person.
Yeah, I was by the mall, Arden Fair. Yeah, I was over there. So I had seen Mozzie's manager because they were doing like a little meet and greet. And I was like, yeah, I stay in Sac. I'm from Stockton. Like, I'm trying to get this interview real quick. He was like, okay, wait, we about to walk off, but just stay with us. Yeah. So like, I had one of my associates from college come and help me with the camera, and it was just disaster. Like, she was in front of me and she was doing the most. Like, I think I had told her like, okay, we're gonna just follow behind him, but she was all in front of him with the camera. I'm like, girl, we gonna follow behind him. They didn't told us it was good. Yeah. So we're walking with the crowd and they duck off to the left. I duck off with the left because they told me to come. Well, the girl's outside, so she don't even know where I'm at. So I had to pull out my phone, and I'm just talking to Mozzie. I'm screaming because it's hella loud in there, but Mozzie was hella cool. And like the interviews I don't typically do them like super long unless it's a sit down, more in depth interview. I might be like asking you 2 or 3 questions. I'll get a drop, but Mozzie gave me the best drop ever. He was just like, fuck all y'all irrelevant TVs. It's always relevant TV.
Hey,
I was like, oh
shout
my
out
God.
to Mozzie
Yes.
for showing out.
Free Mozzie.
Yes.
And I remember like I sent it to my friends. They was like, yo, this is super dope. So yeah, that's definitely one of my top ones. So that one first, and then the Natalina in second.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Like I think my last question would be like, so if you can interview anyone, who would it be? What would you ask?
Oh man, y'all
Yeah,
asking some
This is a live proposal to the person you want to interview.
That's how you know we real.
We trying to put you on.
Yeah.
Who I want to interview? I don't know. Like with me, I like everybody. Like, you know, of course I got my favorite people. I do like the urban news, hip hop genre. But damn, who would I don't even know. Like, if I just think if it's an opportunity for me to interview somebody, like I'm taking it.
Yeah.
I want to give y'all a good answer, but I'm so
Maybe a celebrity crush that you want to interview.
I don't even really have a celebrity. You know what? I think it's like because I'm getting older, I don't really be having celebrity crushes, and I don't stand anybody anymore. Like it's 2 people that I stand, but I feel like I don't even go as hard as I used to. Like Keisha Cole, I go real hard for her. Like I'll fight you over Keisha Cole. Don't be talking mess about my girl, okay? Yeah. And I have met her, and she was hella sweet. And I do really go hard for Megan Thee Stallion, but it's like as far as like you know, yes. But I don't really go hard for nobody like I used to. But those 2 are my girls. But I guess Megan Thee Stallion or Keisha Cole, like since them are 2 of my favorite
Meg
people.
And Keisha, you hear that?
I think like
China?
Me and Keisha Cole. Yeah, come on, Keisha. I didn't talk to her before in the DM. Go. She's super sweet. I think me and Keisha would just be like real cool and just get. You know, she seems very transparent, and she has good energy, good vibes when I met her. And even if I slide in the DMs through the Shade Room and ask her something, she loves us, and she ain't never been like, girl, no. Yeah. And like even when my coworker like has conversation with her, be like, yeah, China's from the Bay. She said, hey. She be like, hey, China. I was like, oh my gosh, Keisha, hey. There we go. But I think Keisha Cole, especially now that she's working on her biopic, because I want to know like, you know, what type of healing did she have to do, or you know, what was her grieving process like because her mom passed away and she was so close to Frankie? And then is that opening a new wound while you're working on this movie and that's kind of portraying your mom? So what was that process going like? And then with Megan, just kind of, I mean, I just hope she's doing good mentally because she's been through a lot these past couple years. So just like, maybe just like, I wouldn't even want it to be an interview. I would just want it to be like more lighthearted. Like
just talking
Megan,
to her,
like show me your process
girl,
in the studio. Like, you know, help me with a few bars. Like what do you want to like do next? Like, cause I know when she come back, it's going to be real big and real hard. So I think those 2. Yeah, y'all be pulling it out of me because I'm like,
there you go.
That's what we're here for.
So what's next for China?
So what's next for me? Just continue to build my brand. Of course, still working in the Shade Room, but I just want to do more with Always Relevant TV. Yeah. While I do have a great job at the Shade Room, it's like, you know, certain people that I would want to bring on the platform that it's just not there yet. And I have my own platform that I can do whatever I want with. So I learned that I can't always wait on opportunities at my job to happen because everybody want to be on camera, right? Yeah. And even though I have the skills and I'm doing some stuff with the radio show, like if there's things I want to do beyond that, like yes, I can wait my time, but I can always do it now because I have my own platform, right? So just wanted to continue to grow with that. I want to do more events. Like I like to be at Rolling Loud because I know y'all seen that interview, that awkward interview that went viral. I should be there. I got not a journalism degree, but I got a mass comm degree. I know how to talk to people. So if y'all listening, holla at me. But I want to do like more of those type of events, and I just want to grow. I want people to know me, not just as China as the Shade Room, like China, like, oh, the media girl, like she does X, Y, and Z. So trying to get more brand deals and just more speaking engagements. Like I'm gonna do a women in media panel tomorrow,
Make sure
which
to
is
come
really
support.
big. Yes, it's gonna be at the Hard Rock Cafe in Hollywood. So just more things like that, like just more elevation. That's it.
So I mean, like we're super honored, man.
Yes,
like I give you your flowers.
Yes.
I know
Thank
your
you.
future is absolutely bright. Like I'm not nobody, right now. So I feel super like
Well, you
lucky.
somebody, okay? Come on,
I'm
now.
trying
Look,
to be
you
somebody.
hear it from
I'm
China.
trying
She's
to be
saying you somebody, so you are somebody.
Yes.
I don't have a DM to slide in though, so don't be trying.
You're not even on Facebook.
Not even Facebook, man.
Not even the
Dang.
Facebook
I
Messenger.
got a LinkedIn.
You got a MySpace?
Okay, you got a LinkedIn. That's
LinkedIn,
something.
you
You
Yeah.
got a MySpace?
No. What is
Did you have
MySpace?
one back in the day?
No. I
You got
missed
an
that.
Dang.
You got an AOL Instant Messenger?
No.
You don't
Oh
got
my
a screen
gosh.
name?
You didn't have an
No.
aim?
No.
You losing some cool points. But
Oh,
it's all right.
dang. Well, I mean,
You're missing out on DMs.
hey, I'm still in Teen Summit.
Okay, yeah, that's
I'm
taking
in
away
that
that.
era, Like,
That's the late 80s, right? Or early
Wow.
Late 70s?
Wow. Dang. They jumping on the old guys.
90s? It's okay. I'm old too, you know.
Nah, but like I
Libra,
really like,
shout out to the Libras.
ooh.
Ooh, I'm a Scorpio baby. It's
Oh,
Scorpio
shit.
season.
So October
okay?
babies.
October babies. I'll let you slide on that.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's a lot of facts about me to remember.
Well, I'm telling you again, we're just gonna give you flowers.
Thank
like,
you.
like, I know your future is bright. Thank you so much for like
Yes.
entertaining us and
yes.
bringing that energy, man. We love it, and
Yes.
hopefully we can continue to keep building on this relationship, and we hope to see you soon.
For sure. I want to just thank you guys for having me. I love what you guys are doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you guys need anything from me, just let me know. And if it's within reason, I can help you out.
Within reasons. And we going to stay within reason.
And not be sliding in DMs.
Just say hello first, okay?
Yeah, at least say hello. Yeah.
But yeah, I want to conclude and say, thank you again for taking the time out here, because I really wanted to show a different side of who China is. When people think about China, it's just Shade Room, right? And just try to jump in DMs and try to get some clout. But I wanted to also show people out there that China is a human being that has emotions and thoughts. And so we wanted to bring that to light and show that, things might seem very bright outside, but there's also some challenges that come along the way. But, we wanted to show your story of overcoming.
Yes.
And so with that, I also wanted to give you your flowers because, Elliot said your future is bright, but your future is also trailblazing for the future of other young women out there.
Amen.
Yeah,
Snap it
man.
up for that.
And
Thank you for that. Like again, like your journey
Yes.
is just so unique, and like I think, it's important for us to recognize it now. And one thing that kind of like really stood with me was, when someone was talking about before they passed, they wanted to make sure that they got their flowers before. They didn't want to be honored afterwards.
Yeah.
So, I just think again, this is like why it's so important to bring young professionals and people like yourself to this platform, because like they have to see like our journeys. Like if people don't know like we struggled or what our situations was, they may not think it's possible. So again, thank you for all that you went through. Everything.
You're making her cry.
What? Dang.
No, I really
serious,
appreciate
man.
that. Like, I think like with the job at the Shade Room, like I do get more exposure and people do ask me to come, but because I know Bernard and we're friends in real life, it means
In
a
real
little
life.
extra.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that. And I know I talk about my DMs. I don't want nobody messaging me, but if you're like a young woman, you aspire to be in the media industry. Like I've gotten so many DMs from women and just asking for tips. Like I'm open for that.
Yeah.
Just don't be doing no crazy stuff. But my DMs is open, so holla at me.
There we go.
I'll let you, China. Make sure to follow and support Always Relevant TV and the Shade Room. And so I want to conclude and say thank you again, China.
Thank
Lovelace,
you.
for coming. You're a very great friend, great person. And we'll see you next time.
we
There's
look
more.
forward to
This
having
ain't
you
the
back.
end. And what better way to open up a Women's History Month than to have the China Lovelace on our
The
platform.
future
The
and
future.
present.
Yes.
So
There we
appreciate y'all. This is G'd Up
Yay.
University. Come check us out. Holla at your boy. Holla at all of us. And we'll see y'all soon.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace.